What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to a gaming review on the new Asus ROG Phone 2 as the gaming phone on the market right now. I'm including TwinView Dock gameplay with all the accessories there are, the Kunai gamepad controller that turns it into a mobile, basically console, then the mobile desktop dock where you use the phone as your gaming rig. You plug in your monitor, mouse and keyboard and you just play games with mouse and keyboard. And also the AirTriggers, just playing with the phone itself using these AirSonic AirTriggers, the shoulder buttons, that allow you some very good controlling. So all this is gonna come. I'm also making my first match in PUBG Mobile, and I'm having a winner chicken dinner immediately with this phone. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, also playing War Robots. And yeah, speaking about some specifications. First off, unboxing right here. Obviously, you get the phone. Wow. And then, of course, you also come with a frame right here, where a little casing if you want. I'm not using that. Then you have this cooling station that you can plug in, and it's using this accessory connector down there that's used for all the accessories. The TwinView Dock, the mobile desktop dock also, and many other things. Then you have a second USB charge. Both of them can charge. You have an external 3.5, an extra 3.5 audio jack, so you can recharge and hear with headphones at the same time. You have the louder and power button up there, and the triggers, the AirSonic shoulder button triggers right there that you can, with the built-in app, assign buttons to. And of course, some stats on the screen: 240 grams, it's not the lightest phone, Android 9.0, and we have, and that's a crazy thing, a 6.56-inch AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate. Oh my gosh. The Adreno 640 GPU graphic processing unit with the Snapdragon 855 Plus, an overclocked version of the already strongest Android CPU on the market. By squeezing the phone, as you see right there that I just did, I activate the X mode. There's actually a control. You can squeeze the phone down here, like you see right there, and it will notice that and will activate the so-called X mode that overclocks the CPU. And pairing that with the built-in app that the phone has, where you can define profiles for every game. You can really specifically design how every game is supposed to run. With many options that you can choose for every game. And then you see X mode overclocks or de-overclocks the phone, even with an animation on the screen. You have two cameras on the back, one in the front, 48 megapixels back and 13 megapixels back, with a wide angle, the 13. And in the front you have a 24 megapixel front camera, very detailed. 4K 60 recordings with HDR on the back and also HDR on the front, and you have very good image quality also. It's a bit weak when it's getting darker. That's a bit of a weakness of the phone, maybe of the cameras, but the quality is really good. It may not be the best one, but it's really good. And the crazy thing here, 120 Hz refresh rate on the screen, that allows you some very accurate controlling, and it makes you, the response time is just like super instant. It's what you need for first-person shooters or quick games where you want to be very accurate. The 120 Hz monitor is the way to go. I'm using nothing but 124 or 144 Hz for 5 years already on my PCs, and now the phone has it too. And what you're seeing right here is the TwinView Dock. It basically gives you a second touchscreen monitor that can do a whole different actions at the same time, in the meantime, running on the phone, and both of them are touch, both of them are 120 Hz, and it already comes installed also with a cooling fan down on the bottom, so you can, run the phone in maximum overclock performance without thermal throttling on the CPU. And I was using it as an example here to watch a video of myself. I didn't really watch it. I know the video, but I just wanted to demonstrate you can watch videos and you can play at the same time while I'm loading into a custom game and showing you the AirTriggers that I designed or assigned the buttons to. You could also write with people, or maybe you can play with someone and your opponent is also having the same phone, and you're making a video call, you see each other and you're playing at the same time. It's also pretty cool. Also, once again, I want to say thank you Asus here for sending in all these things so I can make this fair review. It is a fair review. There's going to be some critics coming as well. I wanna, and that's what I'm focusing on a gaming review. I don't want to go into every little specification, but I want to show you how this phone games. And what we're seeing right here is the mobile desktop dock. Basically, you plug it into this dock, and then you plug in your monitor, your mouse, and your keyboard. You can even plug in an Ethernet cable for internet directly, no wireless LAN, and you are charging the phone and everything at the same time. You can even plug in a separate monitor to switch between an actual PC and the phone. And my PC is running in the background, but ignore the PC. It's running empty. I unplugged monitor and mouse and it's just running, but there's nothing on it. Everything is plugged into the phone, and you see Robots even detected the mouse and keyboard. I'm not sure if I'm worried about this, because if the game can detect mouse and keyboard, maybe, I don't know, if people could maybe prevent you from playing with mouse and keyboard, maybe, I don't know. But Robots in this case detected mouse and keyboard immediately on the phone itself and gave me already working controls. But you see there's a bug sometimes. It keeps turning even though I haven't even made any inputs anymore. So there are certain bugs that I want to make you know about, but the phone is relatively new. Maybe they're being sorted out in the future. I'm playing also, and for the first time in my life, I installed PUBG Mobile on the phone. And what you see right here is me assigning just the most basic keys, okay? I'm dragging the D-pad to the lower left. I'm just making, and I'm binding the fire button for the left mouse key fire. Right mouse button is aim, right? Just aiming through the, the scope or whatever. I literally spent less than a minute just defining the walking steering mode with a D-pad, and then fire and zoom. That's the only three things that I've bound to keys on the mouse and keyboard. You could spend much more time with it if you wanted to. You could define sprinting, laying, crouching, and all these buttons, picking up things and whatnot. All I did was fire, zoom or aim, and walk. And guess what? I made my first PUBG Mobile match. I've played PUBG a lot on the PC, but I've made my first PUBG Mobile match here on the phone, and I immediately got the chicken dinner, dudes. That's so insane. Imagine how easy it was for a guy who's plays the first time to make a chicken dinner here. I mean, let's spend more time defining controls, getting better at it, and then you immediately rock the boat on that because of mouse and keyboard and all that. That's insane. One thing I didn't even do here, I left the monitor in its basic settings, where basically you see the screens are cloned. You see that what happens on the gaming phone also happens on the screen. You can change that on the phone. You can extend the screen in tablet or phone or mobile mode, and basically what it makes a phone. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. When I extended the screen later, I got my gaming monitor running with 2560 times 1140 with 120 Hz. My gaming monitor ran with a QHD resolution, which is its highest resolution, and 120 Hz at the same time, because it is a 144 Hz monitor with the QHD resolution, and it still ran with 120 Hz and the QHD resolution plugged into the phone. You saw right here my GoPro suddenly lost the recording, but I was able to plug in a fresh battery to show you that we in fact did chicken dinner. I just couldn't show you the last kill I made 5 seconds or 10 seconds after the camera froze, unfortunately. But you saw 5 levels gained with just one match, and that was my first match with chicken dinner in the end. Unfortunately, the battery ran out on the GoPro, and I could not show you the actual last kill. But with a fresh battery, I was able to prove it was actually happening there. Now, let's go into the next accessory. It's the Kunai controller. You can either have it running like this as an actual handheld controller, where you can use it with wireless LAN, Bluetooth, or plugging it directly with this USB connector. And then basically you see here, this is where you do it. That's the connector that you can plug on your PC, maybe also PlayStation. I'm not sure if it would work there, haven't tested it. Many buttons on the back, many buttons on the front, and you can also connect it directly to your phone like this. You can place your phone somewhere and you can play like that. But that's one way of doing it, okay? The other way of doing it, the controller comes with this case, with this frame, where you can plug the phone in, and then you have on the sides, you have these railings where you can plug in the controller itself, and now you not run the controller separately. You basically have one device now, your phone and your controller, as basically a mobile, like a Game Boy, if it were like talking super old, or some newer ones. It's basically just a whole mobile gaming console now. But again, here I was also finding some problems where sometimes, see to the left, you drag from the left the Game Genie app where you can define buttons. You see how I define buttons for every action, firing with this, walking here, you can define buttons on the screen. And with this, same as you know it from some emulators maybe on the PC, and but I was experiencing a few problems where, and that's really an issue, where when I was firing, sometimes the fire button just got stuck. Not the button got stuck, but the game kept firing. I'm not sure if it's a game issue or an issue with the controller, I can't say. But one thing I know is that I played also a match, and I was really very uncomfortable with this, because very often the fire button just came stuck. Or, alternatively, I kept turning in a direction where I wasn't turning anymore. You'll see both of it happening in a second here. Here I'm firing, I'm turning, even though I turning the wrong direction, even though I was stopped. And then in the next sequence I was firing, even though I never touched the fire button anymore. Okay, so there are issues and there are bugs, and maybe it's because it's new and it needs to be sorted out. What I personally preferred more was just playing the game with the AirTriggers. Just playing with the phone itself, without the controller. I actually preferred this. I like this more, because with this awesome touchscreen display, the response time is very accurate and very good. And these AirSonic AirTrigger buttons are insanely good. On the left one, it's reversed. I need to account for that. Your left would be this. On the left, I had the switch target assigned. So if I press the left shoulder button, I will cycle through targets, and the right shoulder button was basically fire. So I didn't have to touch the fire button on the screen, the red button to fire, and, you know, accidentally hit the active module or whatever. No, I just used this as a fire button, this as a cycle button, and the rest was walking around or activating an ability. So I couldn't come into cross with any other abilities on the screen or something, and it was a very accurate and very nice way to play the game. I'm not very practiced with touchscreens, because I'm not doing this on the channel, as you know from my review video or the studio tour. I'm using the PC, but immediately I came very, very well along with this, right? And yeah, you're seeing some stats here. We have audio speakers in the front. They're really good, by the way. You can actually hear things coming from the left or from the right with these two audio speakers that are going down the left and right line. It's insane how accurate and how clear they are. They almost sound as good as the 4 Harman Kardon speakers I have on the MediaPad M5 from Huawei. And these are just two things, and the Huawei pad had 4. And they sound almost the same quality, very accurate, very clear, and loud too. And you hear different left and right on these stereo speakers, which is very awesome for gaming. This model came with 500 gigabytes internal storage, so you cannot extend it with a micro SD card. Just so you know, you cannot make it larger, the storage, with a micro card, but you don't need to. If it comes with 500 gigabytes, what do you want a 128 gigabytes external card in? Forget that. You have a half a terabyte in this thing already. And if you need more, well, you're gonna have to get the one with the more. The highest one has 1000, has actually a terabyte. You also have 12 gigabytes of RAM here on this thing. The smallest one I think comes with 8. I had the one with 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is the highest one. And making the final kill here, boom, with the Vortex. So just to wrap up this review, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I don't want to go into all the little tiny mini stats and every specification. I wanted to show you how you can game on the phone. And hopefully I was able to give you guys that. A little bit of a critic's point, or a wish maybe for ROG Phone 3 could be that the screen should be a bit of a higher resolution. It's 1080p basically, with a wider resolution or aspect ratio. I wish the screen was at least QHD, so that you could watch QHD also on YouTube and such with better, with some better, you know, pixel quality. But the screen isn't that large that you must have it. It's just a little wish. But other than that, Battery life is good with 6,000 milliampere hours on this thing. It lasts for a long time. It charges really quickly still. It doesn't actually use the quick charge, but it still charges like 70% of the phone in like an hour or so. So if that's not fast enough for 6,000 milliampere hours, then I don't know what is. It's a great phone. There isn't much negative to say about it, except maybe it's quite expensive, of course. The phone doesn't come cheap, but you get pretty much the highest performance and power and tech there is right now on the market. And the only thing that I would wish maybe here is the Kunai controller. It had a few bugs that need to be sorted out where it didn't recognize immediately. And the other thing is maybe a bit of a better screen resolution on the ROG Phone 3, right? So maybe important to mention is also that the phone does not come with all the accessories. So the mobile desktop dock, you don't get it. You have to get it separately. The Kunai controller is not inside. The TwinView Dock is something you've got to get extra if you want it. But they are options for you to use your phone in a more extensive way if you want to. The TwinView, the desktop dock actually allows you to replace an entire PC. You could literally go without a PC by just using the phone instead. And running even a gaming monitor with 120 Hz in QHD, that's crazy, man. Playing all the games on it with that, that's really sick. I like this a lot, and that's probably the way I would like to use the phone. I have to send a lot of these things back that I've gotten from Asus, but I might actually get myself the docking station or so for some gaming. Let's see. But yeah, that's the one thing to point out. These things are not included. But yeah, this is my review. Hopefully you guys had some fun watching, you guys and gals. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe as brutal as a man can hit for more. Thanks for bearing with me. You guys are awesome as always. Manni-Gaming signing off.